Hi guys, welcome. I'm realizing I don't have my extra light, but that's okay. Y'all are just gonna have to rock with me because I'm not about to get up and go get it. Welcome to SunshinehazeCo. I'm AUJHA. Lighting makes me look really sleepy though, but whatever. I'm AUJHA. This is actually going to be a retrograde video, and what is this video? This is y'all's favorite. It's Mercury retrograde, the first one of the year. Mercury retrograde. Let's get into it. It's one of two planets currently in retrograde. Mercury is actually a personal planet that moves fairly quickly and will be retrograding 3 to 4 times in a calendar year. We get a special one this year because we do have 4 Mercury retrogrades. We've had 3 for the past few years, but this year we do have 4. And so we are kicking off the start of the year with a Mercury retrograde that starts in the sign of the water bearer, Aquarius, and then we'll shift transit into the sign of the goat, Capricorn. Okay. What do I need to let you guys know before we get into the specific energies? Oh, very quickly, just to run down what a retrograde is. It is not a planet spinning backwards in the sky. It may appear as if it is doing so, but it's actually an optical illusion. The planet's actually more so moving in a Z motion, passing over points that it has already passed over. We started the retrograde on January 14th, which is a Friday. Starts in 10 degrees, and it's going to end on February 3rd. I'm not sure what day of the week that is, and I don't have a... Well, 1, 2, 3... That'll be a Thursday. Thursday, February 3rd is when the retrograde is ending in 24 degrees. I had a point that I was about to get out. I don't know what it was, but anyways, those are the those are the dimensions. That's what's happening with Mercury. Speaking to the energy of a retrograde. Retrograde energy can be kind of chaotic, but that is more so when we're dealing with a personal planet like Mercury or Venus or Mars. When we're dealing with the outer or social planets, those energies are not as prominent in our waking, tangible lives. But because we are dealing with Mercury, and Mercury is a personal planet, that means that it is going to affect us on a more conscious level, on a level in which we can actually see and place and put our fingers on it, okay? So with that being said, what does Mercury govern? Mercury is the planet that governs communication. And I would just like to bring a little bit of clarification in here. Mercury is not the planet associated with technology. That is more so Uranus. But because Mercury does govern communication, that means it does expand into methods of communication, which is why there's always so many crazy things happening with people's phones, people's electronic devices with which they communicate. This is why people's emails be getting lost or they never get received, just electronic devices in which that are methods or that are avenues for communication. That is why that particular aspect, that particular energy pops up with Mercury. It is not because Mercury is associated with technology. That is Uranus. But going back to what energies Mercury governs communication, also governs short-term travel. Mercury governs intellect, perspective, and also in old astrology books, you'll read friends and neighbors. It'll literally say sisters and brothers and friends and sisters and brothers and neighbors, but they're speaking to your friends, your companionships, okay? So these are all of the energies and all of the areas that Mercury governs. So these are the areas that we are going to see kind of either shaken up or shifted over the course of the next month and a half. And this energy does last throughout the shadow portions of the retrograde period. And we went into the Mercury retrograde shadow on, I think, the 29th. Yeah, December 29th. That was my half birthday, guys. Went into the retrograde shadow period on December 29th. The planet went into return retrograde on January 14th. It will stay in retrograde until February 3rd, and then we will be in the post-shadow period until February 24th. And just so you guys know what that means, to break it down so you have a clear understanding, when a planet goes into retrograde, so basically what's happening throughout the solar system, the planet is moving. When it stops and hits a certain... there's going to be a certain point that it hits when it finishes its retrograde. When it hits that degree, that is considered the pre-shadow. When it's moving from the pre-shadow to the point to where it turns retrograde, then that's the retrograde point, then it's in retrograde. When it hits that degree of when it popped into the retrograde in a direct motion, that is the post shadow. Once it hits that last degree, we're out of the shadow and all of the Mercury retrograde energy. I know that sounds like a bunch of words jumbled together, but if you Google a Mercury transit chart, literally in like Google Images, you can you'll be able to see what I was saying, and it'll probably look a little more clear to you with a visualization, okay? All right, let's get into it. I already said what signs this retrograde is going to be in. So we've got Aquarius, innovative energy. Aquarius is the sign of the collective. It's also the sign of the individual. Aquarius is open-minded, and on the shadow side could be a little detached, also a little rebellious. We are also dealing with Capricorn energy. Excuse me, Capricorn is very diligent, very organized. Capricorn is all about their business. They carry a very entrepreneurial energy. Practical on the shadow side. They can be a little unrelentless, or they can be a little relentless. Relentless. I'm tired, y'all. Y'all know what I mean. Pessimistic and selfish. So be mindful of those. I need some water. Be mindful of those shadow side energies with this retrograde, because it is the planet of communication and the planet of intellect. It is very easy for our thoughts and our words to get jumbled and for us to tap into those shadow side energies, okay? All right. Moving into the key energies that we'll be dealing with and processing over the course of this retrograde period. I got 3 points, okay? Speaking to the Aquarian energy, and speaking to the reflect and correct retrograde energy, we're really looking at our community and our connections, and looking at, you know, are these the right spaces that I need to be in? Are these the right types of people that I need to have in my life? And this is not necessarily to say that you got to just cut people out, but this is definitely a time in which you are going to have to really think about what people you have in what capacity of your life. You may be hanging out with a friend from, say, like childhood for all day, all week, all night, all morning, all month, right? However, the friend that you're kicking it with from childhood, while they may bring you joy, while they may bring you excitement, the time that you're spending with them, is any of it productive? You know what I mean? So you need to reflect and correct. Maybe you need to pull yourself away from this friend for a little bit. Not to say that you need to pull yourself away from the friendship, but you need to better, you know, map out your time and devote it to the things and the places and the people that do need it and that are warranting it, okay? I'm now speaking to the Capricorn energy. Capricorn is all about foundations. Capricorn is cardinal. Capricorn, speaking again to that entrepreneurial, Capricorn is all about their business. So again, reflecting and correcting what we're looking at with this retrograde energy moving into the Capricorn spaces. So after you get into that Aquarius, okay, are these the energies that I need around me? Are these the people that I need to be connected to? You'll be shifting into, okay, now that I have the energies and the things that I need around me, what is my routine? What is my course of action? What is a course of action that is actually going to be solid and prove to be successful? Because Capricorn doesn't like nonsensical, illogical things. So reflect and correct with Capricorn energy really takes out all of the nonsense, all the extra stuff that we don't need, and will put you on that clear-cut path of, okay, these are the steps that I need to take to get to where I need and I am going to be. Capricorn is very definitive in their goals, okay? And now... the noise that this chair makes. Putting that Capricorn and that Aquarius energy together, get a little bit of innovation, and speaking to that routine, coming up with new ways to achieve our goals. What typically happens during a retrograde is things that were not working for us tend to pop up or circle back around, and a lot of people get thrown off and they get thrown by the wayside. They get taken out. They feel all tossed in the sauce. What you're actually supposed to be doing when these things pop up is taking a moment to stop, analyze, look and see, okay, this worked, this didn't work. I could do away with this. I need to bring some of this in. I need to incorporate this. And then put that into the routine, or put that into your plan, and move accordingly. Once you reflect, you have to correct with retrograde energy. That is the thing. People miss the correction part of the retrograde energy. They go, okay, the retrograde took me out. I see what the retrograde was bringing in, but what did you do with what the retrograde showed you? Why can't I talk tonight? But maybe I should stop banging on my desk. But what did you do? What did you do with the knowledge that you received, with the wisdom that you gained, with the insight that you now have? And that is important with this Aquarius air mental energy and this Capricorn physical energy. You have to take your smarts and apply it to the physical to actually put yourself into these spaces that you want to find yourselves in, okay? On the shadow side, very quickly, Capricorn and Aquarius are both ruled by Saturn, and Saturn is not an easy energy. You guys, I'm a Capricorn rising, and my Saturn is in Aquarius, and which means that my chart is ruled by Saturn. So I'll be the first one to tell you that Saturn energy is not necessarily always the easiest to deal with, but it is a very good energy when it comes to figuring things out about yourself and progressing and working through karmic density and karmic baggage. Because we are in a retrograde season and we're dealing with two signs, we have a retrograde that's in two signs, and both of the signs happen to be ruled by Saturn. Aquarius does also have ownership with Uranus, but I'm speaking more to the Saturn energies. I will talk a little bit about Uranus in a second. Just be mindful of making moves that will bring you bad karma. And that's all I want to say. Mercury retrograde, impulsive communication, impulsive actions, especially with some of the aspects that we have going on. Be mindful of the moves that you're making and the way that you are interacting with people. Do not set yourself up for failure, and do not set yourself up in positions to where you are putting out energy that you do not want to receive back, okay? Now, I did speak a little bit to, I'm going to try to be still because this chair is getting on my nerves. I did speak a little bit to the aspects. We've got a couple of conjunctions and a square. There's a conjunction to Saturn. There's also a conjunction to the star Icarus, and there's a square to Uranus. So with Saturn, even though I just scared you guys with speaking about Saturnian energy, the conjunction to Saturn is actually what I would call a good one as far as this energy is concerned. It brings in, it brings in clarity and critical thinking, and brings in patience to really work through the things that you need to figure out in order to apply them in your physical lives, okay? And also gives good judgment. There's also a square to Uranus, which, anytime Uranus is involved, I think that it brings a little bit of a positive energy because it brings in change. However, with this particular square, because it is to the moon, there's a possibility that it may bring in unexpected news that you're not necessarily that excited to receive, or news that you don't really necessarily want to hear, or news that is kind of difficult for you to process or difficult for you to understand on an emotional level, if that makes sense. So just be mindful of those things, but also keep in mind that sometimes these transits are not going to hit you. It all depends on how your personal chart is being activated, and you can look these things up online by just typing in natal chart current transits, and there's hella sites that'll bring you and plug in some dates and plug in information. There's hella sites that'll show you and give you little briefs about what's going on and what energies are surrounding you at the current time. Now, there is also a conjunction to the star Icarus, and you guys may or may not be familiar with this mythology. I'm gonna miss the first chunk of the story because I don't remember it. But so Icarus he's a dude who something happened and he was trying to get out of somewhere. I don't know if he was in like Hades. I could be lying about that, but he was stuck somewhere trying to escape or something of the sort. So his dad builds him a pair of wings, and the wings are made out of wax. And so Icarus, on an impulse, he's like, I'm out. So he flies off into the sun, and his wings melt, and he falls into the depths of the deep dark ocean. So that's kind of the energy of this star, with the conjunction to the moon, feeling the need to act on our impulses. Be mindful, because I'm sorry, I keep saying the moon, but that is because we have a full moon today. Conjunction to Mercury, feeling the need to act on our impulses and justifying it by way of our thoughts. And that's one of the things that's that is one of the it's a funny energy, and that's why I'm laughing. Typically the things that will occur with this conjunction, if it is being activated within your chart, doing things that when you look back, you'll literally be like, why in the hell did I do that? Like, that was goofy. That was stupid. Just be mindful, reflect, and correct. You know, I try to move away from telling people to not do things during the retrograde, because you shouldn't give your power to astrology or to these spiritual tools. That they're literally tools to help you progress and understand your progression. So with the retrogrades, if you have to make, like if you have to travel. If you have to buy something or do something, do it. However, before you do it, just take the time to tap into what the retrograde energy is for and reflect and correct, okay? That's it for the aspects. Let's speak a little bit about the numerology very, very quickly. Starting in 10 degrees on a 3-day. So there's the energies of new cycles being amplified by 0 and 3 being manifestation. So really manifesting new cycles by way of whatever it is that, y'all, I'm ready to go to bed. By way of manifesting whatever it is that we figure out and rework throughout this retrograde period, okay? It's ending in 24 degrees on an 11-day, so that's breaking down into the energy of 6, which, fun fact, we are in a 6 universal year, so that is harmonious with the year's universal energy. So this first Mercury retrograde is really supposed to be bringing us clarity as far as making moves throughout the rest of the year. And also enlightenment, because it ends on an 11-day. So whatever it is that you're learning throughout this retrograde period, it's going to have a little bit more of a heightened energy, a spiritual aspect, a progressive aspect to whatever goals you have put in place for yourselves, okay? All right, yeah, that's all I got for you guys. Just to wrap it up, Mercury retrograde, reflect and correct as far as connections to your community, your process to success, your path to success, and also your foundations. The people who are going to be mostly affected by this retrograde are people who have their Mercury or their sun signs placed in Aquarius or Capricorn, especially if it's in 10 or 26 degrees or within the orb of those degree placements. People with fixed or cardinal, a lot of fixed or cardinal placements in their chart, and also a lot of earth and air. I don't know why I have water written here. A lot of earth and air. And speaking to the house placements, if you are, if your chart is ruled by the 10th house, 11th house, or the 3rd house, or you have a lot of planets or a lot of aspects to those particular houses, you can definitely expect for Mercury to come in and shake some things up. But again, remember, don't be alarmed. Even though Mercury can be a little chaotic, reflect and correct. Whatever Mercury is shaking up, instead of becoming consumed by it, take a look and analyze and see why it's popping up and what you need to correct there, okay? All right, that's all I got for you guys. Very quickly, what I want you to watch, it is retrograde season, so when I go in and put all these links in, check out the retrograde playlist. We do have another chaotic planet in retrograde as well, and that is Venus, which governs beauty or the aesthetic, money, and love, so watch that video. 2022 general readings are up. I will be putting up love readings, but since I'm doing so much, I figured it just made sense to put them up around Valentine's Day. So they'll be coming up within the next few weeks or closer to Valentine's Day, and I'll be posting on my channel to let you know when to look out for them, you guys. And if you are interested in booking a retrograde reading, because we are in retrograde season, you can do so with me. I will put the links in the description box shortly. If you just can't wait, you can go to any of the most recent videos on my channel, and I do have my booking links in all of the descriptions. What else? And currently I am doing readings for Venus and Mercury as far as the retrograde readings go. I offer other readings, but speaking to the retrograde readings, you can book like how I just said to you. I am so sleepy, you guys. I'm starting to ramble. I'm feeling very Mercury retrograde-ish. That's all I got for you guys. Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor, hit the little thumbs up button. It does help make my videos more visible on YouTube. If you know anybody who is already getting tossed and taken out by the retrograde, send them this video. Let them know it's going to be okay. Watch the video. I'll teach you some things. Questions or comments, drop them down below. I try to come in a couple times a week and respond, or at least acknowledge y'all's comments. Thank you for those of you guys that do interact with me on here. I do appreciate it, and I do see you. And what else? I said thank you. Like, comment, subscribe. If you want to keep up with when I put up new astro content, tarot content, spiritual content, all the things. Again, thank you guys for tuning in. I will catch y'all next time. Good luck, because it is Mercury retrograde coupled with Venus retrograde, so just good luck. But you guys will be okay. Catch y'all next time. Good night. Peace.